Hello there. Glad you could make it. I hope you're having a lovely time in Santaland. Have you tried one of Mrs. Santa's mince pies yet? I'm afraid there might not be many of them left. Now, Holly's asked me to tell you the story of naughty Norman. I hope you're sitting comfortably. Oh, I don't know. He started off as such a nice lad. Anyway, a long, long time ago, before colour television and interwebs had been invented, lived a little baby gnome called Norman. I remember when he first arrived at the gnome nursery. His little round face with those big green eyes and that cheeky smile. Then he started gnome school. He was so popular and was often top of his class. He was even made head gnome. Yes, he was cheeky, but in a good way. I remember when he graduated from the Gnome Academy, I presented him with his certificate, and he gave my beard a big tug and winked at me. Ho, ho, ho! Well, I didn't mind. I thought it was rather funny. But now I have to admit his naughtiness has got a bit out of hand. Did you know he stole all my magic ribbons this year? Oh, I hope you've collected lots to give to me later. And to think, I was going to ask him to be my main gnome helper this Christmas.
I don't know. What do I have to do to be Santa's main gnome? It's all I've ever wanted. I was head gnome at school. I worked hard and passed all my gnome exams, but still I'm not main gnome. Maybe Santa's forgotten me. Well, I think I'll just have to do something to get noticed. I know. I'll be naughty. I could just pretend to brush my teeth. Nobody would know. I could play fun tricks on my little friends. I could pile snow up against people's front doors.
As Norman was thinking, he saw a young gnome skip by with a balloon. Norman had an idea, but it wasn't a very good one.
I think today I'll start with something a little more colourful.
Having filled a balloon with bright blue ink, Norman crept closer to a group of little gnomes playing in the snow. And with a naughty, mischievous little thought in his head, Norman threw the wibbly-wobbly balloon as hard as he could. The balloon hurtled towards the little gnomes. Phew! Went the little gnomes as the balloon flew over them. The balloon bounced from tree to tree, dizzy and confused, not knowing where it was going. Splat! Went the balloon as it burst right in Norman's surprised face. Bother, said Norman, as all the little gnomes ran away, his face dripping with bright blue inky ink. Well, Norman had set out to get himself noticed, but turning himself blue wasn't the idea. What a silly gnome. He hadn't realized that I'd already noticed him, and if only he'd have been more patient, he'd have been my main Christmas gnome this year. Now he's off hiding somewhere, and I just want to tell him how special he is, and that if he could stop being naughty, maybe he could be my main gnome next Christmas. Oh, if only I could find him. Oh, wait a minute. as you're walking around, if you see Norman, let one of my helpers know. Oh, I'd be so grateful. Jumping reindeer! Is that the time already? By mustache, I'd have to get your presents ready for when I see you in my grotto. And don't forget to collect as many ribbons as you can. I'll see you soon. Happy Christmas, everyone! Ho, ho, ho! And don't forget, children, if you see Norman, let my helpers know. I suggest shouting loudly. Some of them are a bit deaf. The head elf especially. Cheerio! Ho, ho, ho! Ho, 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 ho!